Previously on Grooves and Sushi.
Music, yeah, it's like a language, obviously. To open up just a bit, my family has been on a fairly difficult journey over the last few years. And there was a time, I don't know if you really even know the whole story, but there was a time that you were like, hey, dude, how you doing? And I said something along the lines of, it feels like I'm crawling through a field of broken glass. And you said, hey, have you ever thought of trying to put that to music?
Hi, I'm Norm. I was born and raised in Japan, and I'm half Japanese. When I was a kid, I took a couple strings off an old guitar, and that was the beginning of my career as a bass player. Two of my favorite things are music and sushi. Welcome to my home. I'm Norm Stockton, and this is Grooves and Sushi. I'm so honored to have this incredibly gifted lineup of musicians joining me today, including woodwind maestro Mr. Keith Felch on bass clarinet, the fabulous Mr. Erdis Maxilaku on cello, the truly extraordinary Mr. Brandyn Phillips on trumpet, and the world-renowned Zoro on drums. As always, Chef Kevin is preparing a fabulous meal for us. But first, we play. In this episode, we'll be performing a piece that's especially close to my heart. This is Field of Broken Glass. This lineup of musicians has never played together, and this song has never been performed before this taping.
It's about appreciation of like nature, the ingredients, the chef. Versus like in America or a lot of countries, they're like, here's meat with butter and sauce. It tastes great, right? And you're like, yeah, it does taste great. And so you're always eating and you're always happy. But sometimes, when you get like a full course meal, sometimes you want to get like something a little weird. Like I like intestines and stuff, because eating is like because you eat the same things every day.
Yeah.
It's like your daily life. So when you go eat something like sushi or something fancy, like you're spending money or it's an event, I like to eat like stimulating stuff like octopus, where you're like, there's nothing in the world that feels like octopus in your mouth, and it's really cool and interesting.
Henry Ford had a quote. He said, thinking is really, really hard work, which explains why so few people engage in it. Because to write great music, to play great music, to create great art takes a lot of thinking. It's a lot of thinking about the song and the arrangement and the part. And honestly, most people don't want to do the thinking because they're kind of lazy. And then the other quote is from Thomas Edison. And his quote was, opportunity is missed by most people because it comes dressed up in overalls and looks a lot like work.
That's awesome.
The opportunity to do something great is one that will cost you. But people go, oh, I don't want to do all that work. No. So they just settle for mediocrity. But I think the most skilled arrangers are people who thought about every note that the orchestra was going to play. And then when they put that together in that Frank Sinatra song, you're going, wow. And like the guys from Earth, Wind & Fire, like Maurice White, they spent like about $1 million, I found out recently, they spent on their albums in the 70s. That was their budget. There's a reason why those records still sound great. They put so much time and energy into the writing, the arranging, the recording, the producing, and then you go, well, that stuff doesn't happen by accident like that.
Yeah,
Those arrangements are so, go listen to the All in All album. Those arrangements are incredible, and the sounds are incredible. They still hold up. Those Steely Dan records we were talking about.
Still,
I mean,
Yeah.
but there's thought put in there.
they say that those guys will spend 3 days
Oh,
just picking a preamp, the right compressor for the kick.
Yeah,
That kind of
stuff, that kind of
crazy.
detail.
Well, and the Steely Dan stuff was also like measure by measure, right? I mean,
Measure
it was
by-
like, yeah,
clearly.
let's take that again. That last bar was.
I didn't get into jazz until like maybe the end of high school. And then I started getting into like Clark Terry, Clifford Brown, like Terrell Stapp, like all these great musicians. And I was like, wow, that sounds amazing. And it's like the fact that it wasn't rehearsed, it was just all, the thought of improvisation was just like completely foreign to me. Because I was kind of raised classical, like brought up classical.
So the baritone
mindset.
horn was all classical stuff.
All we did was classical music, concert band stuff.
So your reading was slamming pretty early on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, for that style of music. But you know, you play baritone, so you're only playing whole notes. So it doesn't take much to get good at reading.
You've got time to figure out the next measure.
Yeah, I have 4 whole beats to figure out what I'm gonna do next.
So to me, my faith is not separate than my music. They're like cemented together. They're a married couple. There's not one without the other. And but the more I strengthen the faith part of my life, the more I feel like when I play, it's going to touch people in a deeper way than if I just played intellectually or cerebrally. Because what moves people and what touches them is the God particle in the music. And when that God particle is strong, then people feel something that's otherworldly.